Professor.
Mitch, why don't you just go?
I think it will be fine if you can jump in and see it. I brought some chocolate to use.
Do we get to have it at the end?
Yes, you can have it at the end.
Everyone,
Is it
but
okay if people come to class late but just don't disturb?
What's that?
He won't disturb. I'll just have a seat waiting for him.
Who? Oh,
My
yeah,
brother.
Bro.
He
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
in late.
Yeah, whatever you say. What's he doing?
I think he's just washing dishes or doing something downstairs.
They're the
But it's
same
not a big
player.
deal. You guys play a game together, and I'm sure I'll translate. And this, okay. So for this, for me, is just to break down some probabilities in this game. I don't need to say anything about anyone right now. That's like not the point. I would like to still have individual
do I
conversations.
need a
with
calculator?
everyone. You may need a calculator, but hopefully as a group.
I'll set up.
This will be a math lesson.
Yeah.
And some of it will seem weird or complicated, but hopefully, honestly, just ask me other questions. So,
I'm interested. It's cool.
Yeah, very excited.
do you mind if I use the bottom of your bed with
Sure.
chocolate? Like,
Yeah,
is that,
sure.
is that
everyone
gonna look
can
like
see
poo
that.
again?
Yeah, this will be the display.
You want to put a towel over him, maybe?
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea.
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
It's just, it won't melt. I won't touch it much. Okay. So, I don't know. I'm hoping, have you heard of complementary probabilities?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Maybe you'll understand, or you'll be able to help me explain them then. So obviously, next round, there's going to be 10 people in the game, each represented by a little chocolate.
Okay. Sandra, is this like the pasta that you did with me?
No.
No, those were
It's
just
similar, but these don't need names. Is that right?
Yeah.
too?
Can you tighten the things?
Like so you can see them?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Because
told
the
you what
bed's
that
rude.
was.
Here,
They
I'll
were
hold
just
this.
pros and cons.
Is that gonna be okay?
Yeah.
Your ass is grass, bitch. Just kidding.
So,
Come
if the others walk in, they're welcome to watch. It's not about discluding people right now. I just like figure, obviously,
lesson.
you guys are the people that, if I'm going to stay here, I have to convince, right? Okay. Well, for example, when we came into this game, before Nikki and Tim came, there was 14 players, 15 people. So we all had like a 7.5% chance of winning this game, just based on like random luck, basically, right? Next round, that will be down to 10 people, which will be 10% each, which is a way to look at probability, but it's not really probability because that's like random luck,
I
right?
need a towel to masturbate under. Oh my god.
Turning me on as well.
I said in the diary room how
It's-
much it turns me on whenever Mitch talks about science. Okay.
Okay, why don't we
Continue.
continue?
And I actually
Let
said,
him
I bet he's
continue.
worked out probability.
Damn, you talk over people so much.
So
This isn't about you right now.
I know, I'm just saying.
This is
that
Mitch's
I'm-
presentation.
Got a
Alright,
presentation.
I'm not talking right now, you are.
Yeah, I don't know. And the bed's also like curvy, so.
There we go. Sorry.
Okay.
Who shot on the bed?
So, yeah, this is gonna leave another shit stain, but.
Oh, whatever. It's fine.
Okay. So next round, whether it's me or Joel gone, there'll be 10 people left in this game, right? 10 players left in this game. So everyone will have like a 10% chance of winning, but that's just random chance. It doesn't really describe anything. And so there is something called complementary probabilities that mathematicians use to describe systems that lose a bit of their randomness. So when it's hard to describe how to apply this, but like as a biologist, you would apply it to like organisms who start working together, and now what are the probabilities that they will outcompete these other, because it's no longer random, right? Like groups start forming, which happens to work much like this game, right? So you can actually start to compare the probabilities of this group outcompeting this person or this group,
Right.
etc. And so that's what I'm going to show, why a 3-person group is so dangerous in this game. So where do I go from here? So there is a bit of math involved here that I'm going to try to describe, and we can walk through it and you can ask questions. It's just like a law of math that can be applied to systems. And there are some rules. I told Ramsey I was going to do something like this. There's some things that have to be considered, like the rules are like the system has to be contained, so no more people can come in because that changes everything again. And there needs to be limited resources. So if you're animals, you can't just have infinite resources because then there's no competition because everyone can just eat. In this game, I see those resources as votes, which there are limited votes in this game. And there will be less and less votes as the game moves
Like
on.
water.
Like water or food, yeah, exactly. And the third condition is that there's something that can't be called deviance. So like if a group starts working together, it's under the assumption that no one's going to screw them over, which is why it works really well in this case, because we do have 3 people who we believe that of. Maybe that's not entirely true, but that's going to be the assumption we make. And perhaps other people, different groups may not have that same amount of coherence that the threesome does have, right? Hiya.
Hi.
So if we do this next round, 10 people, On the surface, you could say, okay, it looks like they have a 30% chance, and each individual has a 10% chance. But that's not really how probability works once you start considering that groups are working together, because it's no longer random. And so that's what this complementary probabilities discovers. So if they have a 30% chance, there is a weird and complicated formula to describe it, but there's also like a simple version that like a biologist would use just to get a rough answer. And that is, we have 3 here. 1/3 is 33%, exactly or roughly. And you multiply that 33% by your standing in the game. So 33% times 10% is 3.3%, which is your odds now. 30% to 3.3% is 10 to 1. So these people have a 10 times more likely chance to win this game than any one individual in the game. And so that is what I would like to describe, and why I think that if I'm here, there's a higher chance that we will get these people out. That's why they're such a threat, and that's why I was playing my game with them. That's why with 4 people, it was 1 in 4. That's 1/4 is 25%, which would mean if you had a 10% chance, it just went down to 2.5%. And I was just playing the odds, and now I'm out of the odds game, and so I have to change my game right now. Consider that your 3.3% chance is actually worse than when you walked in the door, when you had a 7.5% chance of winning this game. These are just odds. We're in the BB Can Grand house. Obviously, things can change, and people can beat odds. People win money at casinos all the time against the odds. But that's all I really want you guys to consider, is that these 3, as a group that I think we can collectively agree, probably will never go against each other. Unless given no other option, which can happen at the end when there's 5 or 4 and you don't have the movement or the mobility when veto is played. Their odds are 10 times more likely to win this game than you. When I was with them, our odds were 17 times more likely to beat you guys if we stuck together. So, that's it. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
Tim, do you want me to grab you some napkins?
My mum's a mathematician at a university.
That's sick.
Shut up. No, I'm just saying I grew up around math. And I've done the same degree that Mitch done. I know about competition equations.
So, I mean, that's part of what my game was just working with odds and trying to get the best odds. And obviously, I've kind of become a Lone Ranger now with different relationships with different people. And I'm not included in that 3 anymore. And
will you never be included in that 3?
Yeah, that's his
From
question.
this point on.
Yes, I will never be part of that 3. And you know, I will never have their trust, I'm sure you're aware of. I was unable, I fought for that this week, is what I was trying to do with them. There was information that was brought in that made them highly distrust me. I thought it was taken out of context and tried to explain it to them. And I'm happy to talk about that moment with everybody here. If
Yeah.
I'm happy to be an open door on that.